Hi there. So we're on our fifth video already, and I want to come back to what we started out with in a way today. And we began with this idea that we all have innate happiness, innate mental health, that no matter what is going on in our minds, then this is part of our factory settings. It's something that we can't take away from ourselves. It's much like the body's ability to heal itself. Our mind has that kind of immune system, and that ability to heal itself too. And I think it's very easy to get wrapped up in the circumstances that you want to contrive in life, that you want to make yourself happy or make others happy with what's out there. You know, maybe at Christmas you want to put the perfect turkey on the table or have lots of presents under the tree. And you can imagine how you want things to go so that everybody gets this wonderful feeling inside. Everybody feels loved. Everybody feels relaxed. And then if things don't go that way, then we can feel quite upset about that. And it's just so funny because it's what we do. It's what people do. We kind of invent these tight little boxes in our realities that we have to live within, that we have to control. All of this stuff that happens to us, which we're not fully in control of at all, in order to be okay. When at the end of the day, we've got it there. It's right there underneath anyway. And we don't need to keep just pulling at those strings and trying to control everything coming out perfect like a nicely baked cake, because that's not how life is, and we all know it too. But having a sense of that innate well-being that's underneath it all, then it can give you confidence that you can fall well out of that safe little box in your reality into all kinds of circumstances and still find your way through it and be okay. And I don't mean that you become this sort of happy, smiling presence no matter what happens, because we all feel our lives. We all have moments when we feel terribly sad or terribly angry or incredibly happy. Like there's no kind of blueprint for when and how we feel those things, but we all have this kind of pool of human experience to draw on. And there can be what I call the big mother of all headaches. That, we can have something that is truly extremely difficult pop up in our circumstances. The big ones in life, death and loss and, financial ruin, whatever you want to include there that's terrifying for you and scary for you. And I know that the idea of losing my loved ones terrifies me. But no matter what happens, then there's innate well-being to come back to, and innate well-being to rely on. And that makes so much difference, because then you can fall out of the box but not be lost, because there was no box in the first place. It was just a series of beliefs about how life should be. And then you have what I call the little mother of all headaches, and that's when there's not much wrong, but we feel really crap. And when we get into a low state of consciousness, like we talked about in the third video, it's got nothing to do with circumstances, but I have this deep knowledge that my children are a blessing, that my husband is, that my family are, that we're incredibly lucky to live how we do and where we do. And it doesn't take long to look beyond that, things that other people deal with on a day-to-day basis, to know that we should be incredibly grateful. And honestly, I do feel grateful. But then there's also moments where I'm just going to have a massive tantrum if I fall over the Brio train set one more time. Or, there's times when well, an obvious pregnancy example would be like going through something like morning sickness, where you just like, oh God, I know this isn't the be all and end all. I know this pregnancy is a blessing, but I would love to walk past a group of adolescents wearing strong perfumes and not need to run away and throw up. You know, they're not big things in the big picture, not at all. But you know, we're human, and sometimes they piss us off too. And they're not the sort of thing that we're gonna feel desperately at sea if it happens to us because of our circumstances. But they're the kind of thing that kind of pile up in our heads and can make us feel that we're desperately at sea, even though everything is actually pretty good, and then beat ourselves up for not feeling gratitude all the time. So we have that experience too, and at the end of the day, it never lasts. We always come back to well-being, and where we know that we are truly blessed to have all these wonderful things in our circumstances that other people just can't take for granted. And that gratitude, it is a muscle. It's something that you can, you know, come back to time and time again, and it makes it easier to open that door and walk through it again. But at the same time, you're not going to feel it all the time. It doesn't mean it's not always there. So I say it again, it's okay to feel your life, but all is well. And you don't have to create the perfect Christmas to make that so for all of your family as well. And this is something we'll look at more. So take care for today, and I'll speak to you again soon.